Hello, and welcome back to What It Does Well. And a special thank you to everyone that subscribed. Hitman Blood Money was released in 2006 and follows the adventures of 47, the Hitman Man. What this game does especially well is in setting the mood. Imagine a god enters the room. You sneak out from the shadows behind the door and put him to sleep. Take his uniform, and you now have access to the mansion and the target. As you begin to walk towards your next victim, the soundtrack changes and a haunting melody begins to play. In that moment, you feel like the Grim Reaper himself. If the Grim Reaper had a theme song. Snow falls on a snowy mountain, and you are inside a playboy's mansion, and the bikini girls visibly shiver in the cold. You're on a steamboat, paddling down Mississippi River. You walk past a drunk guest of high society as he stumbles down the corridor trying to find his room. It's small details like these that set the tone and the mood of the game. And each location feels like a real place, with workers and guests going about their business. In fact, there's a feeling that you are an outsider, an intruder into this world. And this world would get along just fine if not for your meddling. The next thing it does very well is the storyline. There's an interesting relationship between the missions and the background events. As you go through the game, it always feels like 47 and you are just doing your job. The story and plot drip into your brain in small amounts. And as you find out more and perhaps meet some other assassins, the world becomes larger than you could ever know. This world that only partially unwraps doesn't revolve around you. There's no grand conspiracy, and you are not a hero. 47 is certainly special to some, but at the same time is just a cog in the machine, and this fits perfectly into his stoic character and leaves you free to travel, sightsee, feel the mood, and get invested in the stories of the targets and other characters in the game. But eventually the background story and the gameplay collide in a violent and satisfying conclusion. One of the most satisfying endings in any video game ever. The game also immerses you in the idea of being a hitman. You have a secret base where you can test out weapons. You see 47 picking up his assignments, and you choose what equipment you go in with. You can also buy intel, which gives you some help in completing the missions, but without spoon-feeding you exactly where you need to go, or what exactly you need to do. It all fits very well into that idea that the world is not there for your convenience. Even just getting to your assassination target is often not very easy. You'll spend time just trying to figure out how to infiltrate the location. The missions in Hitman Blood Money are not just simple puzzles to be solved. They require you first of all to be very observant, to really notice the things around you, and to think. The NPCs are also very observant. They notice the things you do in a somewhat realistic manner. If you're not careful running around on the roof, somebody is bound to notice you. If you're not careful sneaking up from behind, your target might not be very comfortable with that needle in your hand. Of course, you could also go in guns blazing and shoot everyone and everything. But even that requires at least a little bit of planning if you want to survive. This all keeps you on edge, and it feels even more satisfying when you finally do manage to complete your mission. So if you want to really feel like a hitman in a varied and fascinating world, with a great story and an especially great ending, but even beyond that, if you want to experience a deep atmosphere and mood, then Hitman Blood Money is for you.